Let's get started with our first big update, Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena in November. Yes, you heard that right. Islam Makhachev recently reacted to Ilia Topuria taking over his spot as the pound-for-pound #1 fighter, and honestly his reaction wasn't one of bitterness. It was sharp, strategic, and focused. According to Islam, the UFC made this ranking switch intentionally to stir up hype for a potential super fight between him and Ilia in the near future. Now, whether you agree or disagree, you've got to admit it's classic UFC marketing at work. But that's not all. Islam didn't just stop at commenting on the rankings, he also dropped a huge bombshell last night, revealing details about a potential matchup that's got fans buzzing across the MMA world. He said there's a very high chance, a 90% chance to be exact, that he'll be fighting Jack Della Maddalena for the welterweight title in November. That's right, Islam said, we've almost agreed on everything. There's a 90% chance the fight happens in November. This is massive. We're not talking about a hypothetical down the line maybe, this is real. The talks are advanced, and according to Islam, nearly every major detail is locked in. A former lightweight champion possibly moving up to welterweight to challenge one of the division's most technical strikers in Jack Della Maddalena. That's the kind of stuff MMA dreams are made of. Ben Askren even chimed in briefly, raising his eyebrows at the news, clearly intrigued, and honestly, so are we. Think about it. Two incredibly sharp fighters, both elite in their respective crafts, possibly clashing in November? That would set the tone for the entire end-of-year fight schedule. Now let's move on to our second big headline. Islam Makhachev confirms Ilia Topuria fight after JDM. That's right, folks. What started as rumors and speculation has now been confirmed by the man himself. Islam Makhachev has officially announced that after his welterweight title clash with Jack Della Maddalena, he's going head-to-head with Ilia Topuria. Let that sink in. These aren't just two top-tier fighters. These are two surging champions, both undefeated in their respective title reigns, both currently lighting up their divisions, both climbing, and both hungry to prove they are the best fighter on the planet. And this fight isn't just about gold anymore. No, this is about legacy. Islam directly addressed the pound-for-pound rankings in his interview, saying he knows the UFC moved Ilia to #1 on purpose. He gets it. It's all about building hype, generating buzz, and capturing the public's attention. He isn't mad. In fact, he's embracing it. He knows what's at stake, and he's leaning into the moment with confidence. He said, it's marketing. They're doing it on purpose to promote this fight. People are already interested in it, but they're doing everything right, and we will be fighting for the #1 spot in the rankings. Now that, my friends, is the mindset of a champion. Not someone who sulks after losing a ranking, but someone who sees the bigger picture. And what a picture this is turning out to be. The Islam vs. Ilia showdown is not yet official in terms of contract, but with both men on a clear path toward each other, it's only a matter of time. Islam is set to face Jack Della Maddalena in the fall, most likely November, while Ilia is expected to face Paddy Pimblett by the end of the year. And while nothing is 100% locked in, the narrative is unfolding beautifully. Stylistically, this potential matchup between Islam and Ilia is a dream. We're talking elite wrestling, world-class striking, unmatched fight IQ, and relentless pressure. These are not your average title holders. These are complete fighters, each with the kind of skill set that can completely shut down or overwhelm even the best opponents. The hype around this one? It's already through the roof. But once it's officially booked, expect a promotional storm. Expect jaw-dropping trailers, explosive face-offs, and fan theories flying left and right. Because this fight, ladies and gentlemen, is gonna be historic. The winner won't just walk away with 2 belts. They'll walk away as the undisputed, unchallenged, and undeniable baddest man in the sport. This is career-defining. This is legacy-sealing. This is a moment that will go down in UFC history. Now let's shift gears to another headline making waves in the lightweight division. Michael Chandler rips Arman Tsarukyan. Yes, you heard that right. Another top lightweight joins the list of fighters who just don't seem interested in stepping into the cage with Arman Tsarukyan. Last week, Paddy Pimblett said he'd rather go toe-to-toe with Justin Gaethje. And Gaethje? He made it clear that he's only interested in one thing now: a title shot. Meanwhile, the newly crowned champion Ilia Topuria shocked everyone when he said he'd rather vacate the belt than defend it against Arman. And now, Michael Chandler has added his voice to the chorus. On Instagram, Chandler addressed the speculation that he's ducking Arman, and in true Chandler fashion, he didn't hold back. He said, "Definitely not scared. Nobody wants that nothing burger of a fight, especially not the champ. Ilia realizes we are in the attention business. Nobody pays attention to that other guy." Brutal. It's clear that Chandler doesn't view Arman as someone who brings excitement, ratings, or marketability to the table. And while Arman Tsarukyan's hardcore fans will certainly disagree, the reality is this: perception matters. And if top contenders and champions believe a fight with Arman won't bring in viewers or elevate their careers, they'll walk away from it, plain and simple. But that raises a big question. Where does Arman go from here? If the top of the division won't engage, if the belt holder refuses to defend, if even rising stars are avoiding him, what's his path to a title? This situation is getting tense. Arman has proven himself inside the Octagon. His performances have been technical, dominant, and relentless. But outside the cage, he's struggling to break into that upper echelon of must-watch fighters, and that could cost him big time in the matchmaking game. Meanwhile, Chandler continues to navigate his own future. A fight with Conor McGregor is still floating in the background, even though it's been delayed and complicated. But with this recent jab at Arman, he's sending a message. He's focused on big fights. Fights that bring eyeballs. Fights that fans will pay for. And in his eyes, Arman isn't that guy. So now, all eyes are on Tsarukyan. How does he respond? Does he take a high-risk, low-reward fight to force his way back into the spotlight? Does he go on a campaign to call out the top dogs? Or does he simply keep fighting, dominating, and waiting for the UFC to force someone's hand? The drama in the lightweight division is only heating up, and with contenders like Islam, Ilia, Paddy, Gateja, Chandler, and Arman all in the mix, 2025 is shaping up to be one of the most exciting years in recent memory for MMA fans. To recap, Islam Makhachev is on the brink of a welterweight showdown with Jack Della Maddalena in November. He's then planning to face Ilia Topuria for what could be the most important fight of his career. A fight not just for belts, but for glory, for legacy, and for the right to be called the #1 fighter on the planet and in the lightweight division. While Arman Tsarukyan continues to rise through the rankings with impressive performances, the top dogs Paddy, Gaethje, Chandler, even champ Ilia seem to be avoiding him. Whether that's strategy, fear, or pure business, it leaves Arman in a tough spot. The fight game isn't just about fighting anymore. It's about timing, it's about hype, it's about audience, and above all, it's about narrative. We're watching that narrative unfold right now in real time. So buckle up, fight fans. The second half of this year is going to be a wild ride.